injured in an accident, you need a lawyer, and you deserve an advocate. Insurance companies don't always play fair, but we can keep them in check. Most cases settle out of court, but we'll take your case to trial if necessary. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Friday, January 24th, 2025. It is Nike Diamond Turf Drop Day right here on The Monty Show. Super stoked. We got to talk about the college football playoff. The money that the Big 12 Conference is not making. Here's a question for you. And I know, controversy. Should Notre Dame join a conference? Well, I got a graphic that tells you exactly why they should never, ever join a conference. Shouldn't do it. And I know that Notre Dame football and, well, they got to join the Big Ten, Morty. No, they don't. No, they do not. Where do you come down on Notre Dame joining a conference?
I just don't think it makes any sense. Why would you? Why would you split up revenue? Why would you, why would you add the responsibility of having to work with, just one conference? I mean, the reality is Notre Dame can work with whoever they want right now, and that's what's allowing them to be successful. Now, I would agree that Notre Dame's scheduling a soft-ass schedule is probably not helping them right now, especially when you lose to NIU. That's probably not helping you. But ultimately, what happened this season? Well, they lose to NIU, and then they run off 12 in a row or whatever it was, and they get to the national championship game and lose to Ohio State. That's a good year for Notre Dame. It is. And you made a ton of money. Obviously, Marcus Freeman made himself a lot of money. He's obviously developing as a head coach. And so I just don't understand the logic behind, hey, Notre Dame should join a conference, because they're already incredibly successful.
Case in point. Here are the payouts for the college football playoff. You win games, you get paid. The Big Ten won 6 games. They got $46 million. The SEC won 2 games and got $26 million. Notre Dame won 3 games and got $20 million all for themselves. And then the Big 12, the Mountain, and the ACC, who combined barely surpassed what Notre Dame got on their own. Right? Yeah. I mean, play the funeral music. I get it. So, again, here I sit, and I know people hate this conversation. Why should Notre Dame join a conference?
They shouldn't.
Under no circumstance should you join a conference, because, again, and I know that people in the Big 12 hate this, but you've got to grasp the idea that your team is the reason that the Big 12 is one of the least earning conferences in the college football playoff. Whose fault is this graphic right here? The Big 12's fault, the ACC's fault.
Yeah, it's not the Big 10's fault.
Right? And furthermore, if you're an ACC school, right, you had multiple opportunities to win games and you lost it all. Obviously, with the Big 12, Arizona State losing, that hurts. But if you're Notre Dame and you're winning multiple games and going to the college football playoff and getting a $20 million check, you would have no reason to join a conference. But then I look at the Big 12, and here's really where the rubber meets the road. I look at the Big 12, and I say to myself, how do you reconcile? And again, the guy that I go to, how do you reconcile keeping Dave Aranda at Baylor? How do you reconcile not having winning programs in the state of Texas? How worried are you about Willie Fritz at Houston? How worried are you about Spike Dykes' kid at TCU, the high school coach at Texas Tech, the mullet at Oak State? These are all the reasons that this conference isn't winning games in the college football playoff. You look at Utah. Utah has got to go to the college football playoff and win games. It is vitally important for the success and failure of this conference. And yet here we are. We are in a new year in 2025. Hell, it's almost February already. and not much in the Big 12 conference has changed. So when I say, hey, if you're a Big 12 fan, you're not competing with the likes of the SEC and the Big 10. You're simply not competing at the top of college football. You are, and I don't even know how to say this out loud. What are you, $38 million behind the Big 10? I said $38 million behind the Big 10.
You know,
but you go ahead and you keep making excuses for why, oh, well, Marty Baylor finished strong. And hey, Monty, they win. Spike Dykes' kid is winning games.
I'm a man.
They're not winning games. And I'll continue to tell you, hey, it's cool at BYU that you had that season. But change the lens, right? Change the lens of the conversation. How much did BYU mean to the Big 12 this year? How much did Deion ultimately mean to the Big 12 this year? Sure, huge TV audiences. Huge TV audiences. How much did all that matter? None, not at all. None, nothing.
Not even a little bit.
Cam Scatterbo meant nothing. Congratulations, you made the college football playoff. You got to win games.
Well, I would say that, Arizona State, they were a big reason why the Big 12 got into, they are a big reason why the Big 12 had the presence they had in the college football playoff. And, I think that, listen, this conversation isn't about Arizona State or Deion or BYU. This conversation is about the programs who are bottom half in the conference and are not doing anything that they should be doing. I tend to agree that, this whole Baylor situation, the Texas Tech situation, the Oklahoma State situation, the Utah situation, it's inexcusable for your conference to have none of those teams be competitive. That just can't, that can't happen. If I said, hey, the SEC is not going to have Georgia, Bama, Texas, and Ole Miss be competitive, they're all going to be one-win teams, the SEC wouldn't be the SEC, right? So, the Big 12 has to get to a place where it becomes, unacceptable. It becomes taboo to be a 5-win team. And the real problem is there's not a real way to get there, because ultimately, to become that caliber of football team, you got to recruit. You got to be better than you are now in the offseason, because your in-season success is defined by what you do in the offseason. So when everybody in Stillwater wants to tell you, new coordinators and look at all the guys they got in the portal that are of zero consequence and are not going to be huge contributors. Do we really expect Oklahoma State or TCU or Tech to be a 10, 11 win team? Because I don't.
I don't at all. Sadly,
7, 8 wins, okay, I guess, but that's you're in the worst spot you could be. You're just mediocre.
And again, I'm excited about what Joey McGuire's doing in Lubbock. I think the transfer portal and recruiting has been huge. You can't believe anything other than that defense at Texas Tech is going to be significantly better.
It damn well better be.
How can it not
How
with the
can it
talent,
not be,
right?
dude?
But what if it's not? What if Dave Aranda is not significantly better? What if that's not an 8 to 10 win team in Waco this year? What if they don't go to the championship game? I just want, instead of focusing on how Notre Dame gets a free pass, focus on the Big 12 winning more games. Focus on the Big 12 having every university in this conference pushing for the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Focus on, instead of ripping Deion Sanders, who unfortunately we're going to talk about in a minute, instead of ripping Deion Sanders, maybe model your program the way that Deion Sanders does, because he's not here to win regular season games. He's here to win the college football playoff. Can you say the same thing about Dave Aranda?
No.
Can you say the same thing about Mike Gundy?
No.
Can you say the same thing about Kyle Whittingham? Can you say, and can you say the same thing about Kalani Sitake? No, I don't think you can. Can you say the same thing about Kenny Dillingham? Yes. Kenny Dillingham's only goal is to win a national championship. I don't think you can say that at BYU. I don't think you certainly can't say that at TCU or Baylor or Tech, or can you say that about Iowa State? Kansas State? Is Kansas State's only goal really to win a national championship? No, it's not. And I don't buy that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you make that argument. I truly don't. And I think when you look at this graphic, and I'm just going to keep throwing it up there because I think it matters. You're $38 million, bro. You're $38 million behind the Big Ten.
And then you wanna be surprised when Baylor's AD calls for an emergency meeting as to why the Big Ten and the SEC don't show up.
And everybody said no.
Like, this is my point, dude. Like, I feel like there are some of you who agree with us, but I feel like there's a large amount of people in the comment section who don't agree with the sentiment that the Big 12 is in trouble. And again, I'm not saying the conference is going to melt down. I'm not saying that it's not going to exist. But what I am saying is it's just not going to be relevant if you continue to be this far behind. Like, you're not going to be competitive, and you're already borderline not competitive.
But and I think the important thing to drop the cherry on top of this Sunday is you have every opportunity that the Big Ten and the SEC has. You do. Win games. Win games. Was it as if you couldn't get ranked? Was it as if in the final AP poll you just didn't have an opportunity? No. Arizona State is 7th. You look at BYU at 13, right? And you look at Colorado at 25. You had opportunities. But what you notice here is you just didn't have very many good football teams.
Yeah.
And the ACC the same. That it is wild to me that SMU, who has no business being ranked ahead of BYU, and I still think no business being ranked ahead of Iowa State. But it's wild to me that SMU, who bought and paid themselves into the ACC, is ranked 12th. That's crazy. The Big 12 had opportunities. This idea that it's only the Big 10 and the SEC, Monty. No, it's not. No, it's not, because I'll keep going back to this. Is the Big 10 really a phenomenal conference top to bottom in football? No. Is the SEC better, but is it a phenomenal conference top to bottom? No. But are they exponentially better than the Big 12? No, they're not. They're not. The Big 10 is not far and away a better football conference than the Big 12. It's not. What did Oregon do this year? Well, Oregon had a great year until it got to the games that mattered, and they didn't do anything.
Right.
They no-showed.
But again, I think that, the hard part is the dominance Oregon showed all year really pushes the Big 10 forward in narrative. If the Big 10 was just Ohio State and everybody else, and let's say that Oregon was a 3-loss team and they had lost to Boise State and they had lost some of those close ones, then I think we're having a totally different conversation with the college football playoff, and maybe that graphic looks a little bit different at the end of the day. But the problem is that Big 12 teams don't go 13-0. They're not one-loss teams.
And in my opinion, in a lot of these places, and this is the real difference. This is just my opinion, and I could be wrong. In my opinion, when we look at what's the real difference between the Big 10, the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC, the biggest difference is from the conference commissioner to the presidents, to the athletic directors, to the head coaches, to the players they recruit. The only thing that matters is winning games.
Yeah.
In the Big 10 and the SEC. And in some places, I think what Deion's done at Colorado should be the minimum bar for the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that Baylor, Tech, TCU, Oak State, Oklahoma State, and this goes back to cutting Mike Gundy's salary. So you clipped his balls off, and then you told him to go out and recruit. And he hired 2 old heads to be his coordinators.
Right.
All that matters at Colorado is winning. All that matters, and I know the program intimately well, all that matters at Utah is winning. That's it. Look at that. Again, I'll just keep going back to Kyle Whittingham made systemic changes in his football program. All that matters is winning. That's it. 100%. At BYU had a great season. A historically great season. Attaboy. Good job. All right. Let's all right. Cool. It's not, hey, we had a great season. We should have beaten Kansas. And it's really, we got to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, how did we lose to Kansas? How did we lose to Arizona State? In that locker room, in those coaches' offices at BYU, they're desperate to win a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
You think the garden variety donor, you think the garden variety BYU season ticket holder is desperate all in to win a national championship? They're not. I saw a video, and I showed it to Jake this morning. I saw a video of a BYU guy who was like, wow, we finished 13th in the AP poll. What a year. Hey, it's good, but that's not being all in to win a championship. And it should be all you're focused on, because I guarantee you at Ohio State, we were talking about firing Ryan Day. No, that talk is all over with.
Because he delivered.
Their best player, arguably, is a true freshman wide receiver who's going to be there for 2 more years. Right? Ryan Day, you want to talk about a cat that's all in to win a national championship? He hired his replacement to be his offensive coordinator. Because I guarantee you, if they'd have fired Ryan Day, they'd have talked about Chip Kelly being the next head coach at Ohio State. Right? You look at Alabama.
Yeah.
It's not like that in the Big 12. That I don't mean to wax on or just.
No, I just think I think that this concept of the word expectations. I just think that they're in the Big Ten for those top programs. There's an inherent expectation that you will win at the highest level. It doesn't need to be spoken. It just is the standard. I really do feel like, for a lot of these programs in the Big 12, winning is just not the standard. And I'm not even hating. I'm looking at the behavior of the program, how you go about setting up the program. And it just is not, you're not going to convince me that somehow Oklahoma State's top priority is winning football games. There's no way anybody can sell you on that based on the decisions they've made. So I'm just going off of what they've done. Now, you can make a case for, TCU or obviously Colorado or some of these other schools. Like, at least TCU has been to the playoff and won a national championship and done some things in recent memory. At least they have that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat things. And frankly, I would love nothing more than to see the Big 12 have 3-4 teams in the college football playoff. But unfortunately, that ship has passed. And the only way you're going to get those kind of revenue numbers is by beating the SEC and the Big Ten at their own game. And nobody in the Big 12 right now is good enough to do that. Yeah.
All right, let's get your comments in here. I want to do it quickly because I think this is a really important conversation. That when the money is wired into your account and you're $38 million light, there should be some real tough conversations across this league. And as much as I despise the way that Florida State's gone about their business, their proposals and their suggestions about unequal revenue sharing, which the Big 12, I'm telling you, is headed down that road. The unequal revenue sharing model has to be put in place. You have to be incentivized to be elite, which is sad because I don't think you should ever have to be incentivized.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody in Waco, nobody in Lubbock. Look how many people were on this show this year defending Joey McGuire, which is crazy. First one in, Illumindursky. Hello, my friend, a member for 17 months.
Nice.
Let's go Buffs. We'll talk about Deion here in a minute.
I think that was a Bills reference.
It clearly was not. Nobody's rooting for the Bills. Not even the refs will be rooting for. Okay. Steely, good morning, Steely. Mr. Preston, good morning, casuals. Happy Friday. Hello. Good to see you. Our favorite Floridians, you guys build a snowman, Maury? Hit the like button, you filthy casuals. Yes, please. Please hit the like button. The real Pete Forte, hello. Welcome to the nightmare. Hello. Mr. Ohio, TGIF. Dude, you have no idea. Fun fact, since 2020, Buffalo has defeated the Chiefs every regular season game, but not once in the playoffs because Josh Allen hasn't been that dude. I'm saying, Glenn, San Diego State Glenn, hello. Filthy now, Maury. Come on now. I hit it, though. There you go. I'll hit it. You know. Get dirty. Maury, like button smashed. I feel fresh and so much cleaner now. There you go.
Get the job done. Let's go.
Wasikowskinator, good morning. ACC Big 12 should just merge. It is hard to comprehend. You know what the most troubling part of this graphic is? And Eric, you're tongue-in-cheek. I get it. You know what the most troubling part of this graphic is? Michigan had a down year. SC's having another down year. We have not seen the best of this conference.
No.
Oregon's going to win a playoff game. Washington, I'm probably too over the top.
Does Matt Rule ever get going?
Matt Rule at Nebraska. We're not close to the top of the Big Ten. This is what I've talked about all year. This conference has legitimately 6 programs that could compete for a national championship every year.
Yes.
Legitimately. Can you imagine what these numbers will look like if that happens? What happens when Kalen DeBoer figures himself out at Alabama? Mm-hmm. What happens when Lane Kiffin doesn't lose to also ran SEC teams?
When he breaks through.
Look at Tennessee. Look at Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss. Like you're talking about 8 teams in the SEC that legitimately could win college football playoff games in the same year.
Yeah.
And when they get together next week, the Big Ten and the SEC, and they figure out ways to take more spots in the college football playoff, this right here is only going to get worse.
Because it's all part of the plan.
Notre Dame's going to be there every year.
Yeah.
So I ask you, how many teams in the Big 12?
That's what I'm saying. Like even just the teams who even are in the conversation, just in striking distance, even like I mean, I guess if we're going to be generous, because I still think there's proving to do, we can throw Utah in there if you want to. Like obviously Utah typically is very successful, very good, really bad year, obviously surprised. Okay. We'll be generous. We'll write that off and say, hey, well, Utah's a team that, you figure is going to compete, most years to get into the college football
again,
playoff.
BYU?
Yeah.
I don't think BYU is this good again.
I don't think I can say BYU is this good again. And it's a hell of a year. And I love those guys. But the reality is, man, just the same way that Lane Kiffin hasn't got into the college football playoff, BYU fumbled the bag big time.
They had it.
Like they had it. They had a clear path. It was set up. It was established. And then you lost. And so, again, it's no slight to those guys, but business is business, right? I mean, that's all this is. Like, hey, it's what we were talking about yesterday on the show. All the people commenting, hey, it matters when you win. Yes, it does. And it matters how much you win. And it matters what your reputation is. So when Utah or BYU or Colorado are in the AP top 25 and they're getting disrespected, who's going to be surprised? Because I'm not going to be surprised.
No.
Next season, when the week 0 or week 1 top 25 comes out and the Big 12 is nowhere to be found, who's going to be surprised?
And, this graphic, imagine if Penn State hadn't gotten SMU and Boise State.
Yeah.
What if that had been Colorado or BYU instead
or ASU, instead of Texas?
Anyway, my point is, how many teams in the Big 12? How many teams in the ACC? Okay, I can give you Florida State. You think Bill Belichick's turning North Carolina around? That's highly improbable.
I don't know that they're CFP good the first year, but I do think they're going to start to be better.
I think it's improbable they go to the playoff. Duke? Come on, boys.
Well, Riley Leonard's not there anymore. So,
good point. Thank you. I think it's highly improbable that the ACC, you're really going to tell me that SMU is, because I think Florida State, Miami. I could see Miami going to a college football playoff. You got to find a way to replace Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
That production is going to be really tough to replace. And Mario Cristobal is going to have to get around all the politics and, well, him just being really stupid in big moments. But I could see Mike Norvell instantly turning, with the coordinators and the talent he brought in there. I could see him instantly turning Florida State around.
But Florida State's a good example. People respect that Florida State can be in the college football playoff. It's not taboo for them to be in the conversation, or Clemson, or some of those ACC teams. It is legitimately taboo for Colorado to be in the CFP conversation, or for Tech, or Baylor, or Oklahoma State, or Utah to be in the college football playoff conversation. I mean, we haven't seen that. This is my point.
Louisville,
people, yeah, it would be taboo for Louisville to be in the college football playoff.
Georgia Tech,
yeah, taboo.
Pitt,
yeah.
I think Florida State. I don't think SMU ever has this year again. I can't see it. I can't see them maintaining this. Their path was so. It was an anomaly. I could see Clemson being a 10-win team regularly.
But Clemson, see, that's a good example. Clemson's a team that's won national championships, obviously. Clemson's been around the block. And the conversation's very different with Clemson. And so that's why I'm saying, it's not only that the Big 12 is not winning enough now, it's that in the CFP's history, you haven't won enough. And I know everyone says, well, Monty, it's supposed to be the committee's job to not consider the past, only consider this year. Sure. Everybody considers the past. It's impossible not to make a determination based off of your reputation as a program. That's why the Alabama conversation was so volatile with fans, right? As we were trying to figure out who was going to get in, them or Miami, or what the case was going to be. And that's why I say, it's at some point the Big 12 is going to have to make a shift, whether it is, incentive-based revenue sharing in the conference, or something's going to have to happen to penalize these schools for being mediocre. Yeah. Oklahoma State being a no-win team in conference is a circus. That's embarrassing. I just don't know how that's possible. How does that happen?
I don't know. Giggity says it sounds like we have a bit of a draft blowing through the studio. Hey, I got to clean off the top of the can. Oliver Crooms. Hello, Oliver. Stop it, please. Give it time. The new Big 12 just formed. But I'm not even talking about the new Big 12. I'm talking about the guys who've been here. In your case, Houston's new to this league. I have to believe. I mean, he's a really good coach.
Yeah, and I have to believe basketball.
They're going to turn that around in football, right? But Baylor, Tech, and TCU, Oak State. What is there? We got to stop making excuses for people. Harry Austin, good morning, sir. It's year one post Texas OU. Let the new Big 12 grow. Okay. But do you have time for that?
So here's the difference. I don't disagree that it's year one after Texas and OU leaving, and the conference needs time to grow. The problem is you don't have time to grow. The problem is that graphic explicitly says, hey, you don't have time to grow. You have to, because remember what the narrative was when the Big 12 let Texas out early, right? And they paid their way out, and that business dealing got done. Oh, well, the Big 12 doesn't need Texas. The Big 12 wants the money. The Big 12 is going to add through realignment. And then the Pac-12 thing happened, and Big 12 fan was like, oh, hey, we added all these brands. Everything's awesome.
And Texas went to the college football playoff this year.
And you didn't. And by the way, that Texas CFP run went to the SEC. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, man, the conference, they just have to grow.
And isn't this, wait a minute, isn't this a philosophical conversation?
Yes,
more than it is, hey, we need time to grow and develop? Shouldn't you be all in on winning every single snap, which starts in spring ball and off-season workouts and chemistry building, and you got to be all in from day one. This is a 365-day-a-year job.
Shouldn't you be saying, hey, we're 1 year, we're going into our second season post Texas OU leaving. The blue bloods, the OG brands of the Big 12 should be carrying this conference. Hey, the conference is in a little bit weaker of a position right now. Hey, Tech, all these brands we're referencing, they should be putting the conference on their back and going to the college football playoff. And like, there should be this bar of success that is just the standard, as I keep saying. But that's not what it is right now. And so the problem is I don't know how you fix it, because Brett Yormark has done everything he can do as a commissioner to serve you well and put you in positions, and you're just not able to convert right now, essentially.
Yep. Harry also says, did OU fire its coach? Well, but Brett Venables has only been there 3 years, and last year he almost won the Big 12. Then they finished second in the Big 12 last year at 10-3. Now this past season they were terrible, but he's gone out and he's made significant headway through the portal,
and he's beaten Texas.
Well, that's true. Majority did not love the show, but today's topic, like Pete Rose to the Hall of Fame, it's been done several times. It hasn't been.
It actually hasn't been, dude.
Because now we know how much money every conference made and how much money the Big 12 and the ACC did not make. You're $38 million behind the Big 10 in a year where the Big 10 was down. And the Big 10 just won the national championship 2 years in a row.
Don't listen. And I'm not trying to make this personal with you, Harry, but don't try to change this topic into, oh, well, you're just retreading that the Big 12 is not where the SEC and the Big 10 are.
No.
That's not what we're doing here. The numbers are out. We're no longer having an opinion-based conversation. We have numbers that say, hey, the Big 12 is this amount of money. What did you say it was? $38 million?
$38 million light.
How are we not supposed to talk about this graphic? That's my question, Harry. Is like, I understand.
Just ignore that?
I understand on the show that we've had a lot of conversations about the progress of the Big 12 and the failures of the Big 12 and where the conference is going. But I'm not putting on rose-colored glasses here and shining a turd. This conference has to get better.
And why are we having this conversation about the Big 12? Because the potential is there. They have the ability. I think we spend so much time as college football fans. Oh, we're never going to be the SEC or the Big 10. You can be. You just don't want to do what it takes.
Yeah.
We all love these goals and aspirations until it's time to do what has to be done. And then we don't want to fire Dave Aranda because he's a nice guy. And Joey's a great story. And Sonny Dykes and Mike Gundy's a legend. Great. You want to make the money or not? Well, yeah. Okay, well then let's Mike Gundy should have been fired.
Yeah.
Dave Aranda should not be the football coach at Baylor. Sonny Dykes, Joey McGuire, okay, totally get it. Totally get it. If Kyle Whittingham has another season the way he had, should Kyle Whittingham keep his job at Utah? I think I would tell you Kyle Whittingham will tell you he shouldn't keep his job.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a victim. And then when the opportunity to de-victimize yourself shows up, you don't take it, and then you still want to be a victim.
And then you want to sell the idea that the conference is new and the new Big 12 needs time to grow. I guess, I don't know, man. Maybe the conversation really is like, what should the storyline of the Big 12 be? I mean, because Harry clearly is in the camp of, hey, it's the new Big 12. We got to give it time to grow. But I'm sitting here saying, bro, it's the new CFP, and you're not included in it except for one team or whatever. Like,
so
that's not
you're
good.
$70 million behind in the TV contract, right? And let's call it 40. They're getting 100. You're $60 million behind.
Right.
You're now $38 million behind in the college football playoff. Dude, we're pushing $100 million light.
That's a lot of money.
You're $100 million annually behind the Big 10.
But what do Big 12 fans want to do? Well, Deion sucks. He's terrible. Come on.
I'm just CWR. Notre Dame gets $22 million a year from NBC. Big Ten gets between $80 million a year each team with their contract. That's the reason for Notre Dame to join the Big Ten. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
What are you talking about?
No, it's not. Why would Notre Dame join the Big Ten and split up their revenue? No, they would not. No.
Okay. Notre Dame every single week is on national TV. When they're at home, they're in a prime spot at home on national TV, not on cable, not on premium, on broadcast television that every home with an antenna or cable or satellite or internet has the ability to watch their game. Why would they change that? Do you really think Notre Dame, Northern Illinois would have been the feature Big Ten game that week? No. Why would they change that? I've said this repeatedly. The only reason Notre Dame is going to join a conference, do they have access to the college football playoff? No? Okay, we got to join a conference. Do they have access to a TV deal? No? We got to join a conference. Are we financially being held back because we're not in a conference? Yes, we got to join a conference. Money, availability, and reach. They have all of it. They just got a $20 million check from the college football playoff. What university in this country has that? And I would also remind you, all their other sports are in the ACC. So they have conference affiliation for all their other sports. Their football program is making over $100 million a year. And that's not merchandise. That's ticket sales, operations, partnerships, TV money, CFP money. And then you get to all that other fiduciary stuff. Yeah. The things you have to do to make yourself, and they're making that money. Their stadium makes them that money. Do you guys understand how much merchandise they sell? And you want them to join a conference where they will have to split that money. It's not, you guys get so boned over the TV deal. The TV deal is this much of it. Look at
Yeah.
Ohio State could lose their TV deal money and still be one of the richest programs in the country. Stop. There's no reason for them to do that. I was in Northern Florida. If I was in Northern Florida, I would have built a snowman. I told my kids if we get 3 inches, one's going up in the front yard. That's what I'm saying. Norge, with NIL, it's a different landscape. NIL has nothing to do with this. NIL has nothing to do with this. Do you really believe that any NIL contract, which very interesting enough, we have NIL lawsuits to talk about. Do you really think that Notre Dame has more ability? What's the best football program in the Big 12 right now?
ASU.
Okay. Does Notre Dame have more ability than ASU to pay players? Nope. Dead even. Why? Because NIL's dead. What is it now? It's revenue sharing.
Yeah.
They're all sharing $20.5 million.
Yeah, which completely blows up the second portion of this comment. By the way.
A lot of schools that were players are not in financial position to compete at the highest level anymore. Completely.
So then how is Boise State in the college football playoff?
That's just not the case, my guy. That's not the way NIL and that's not the way revenue sharing works. You had to opt in. If you opted in, you have access to the college football playoff. If you opted out, you do not. Done. That's the whole 9 yards.
And any Power 4 schools opted in.
All of them are opted in.
Yeah.
Any FBS program, essentially.
Yeah. There are some slight exceptions, but.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly right. The money, this payout is nothing. The money is with the TV contract. No. Notre Dame is losing out on tens of millions. No, oh my God. I can't believe you guys don't understand this. Do you guys really, and it's a private institution, I don't even know why I'm going to look at this, but we'll never know what they make. because they don't report. It's very much like BYU. I'm just telling you, if we look at the minimum baseline deal, how many schools have every one of their games on national TV?
Not like some of them, all of them.
Alabama and Mercer, was that on national TV?
No,
it was not. Was NIU and Notre Dame on national TV? It was at oh, that's right. It was on NBC and it was on Peacock. So wait, let me get this right. They not only have a regular TV broadcast deal,
linear.
they also have a streaming deal. They have an app deal. You guys, you're anyway. JG, Notre Dame made the most money. They did. Phil Venzer, the Big 12 wants to be successful, then they must find a way to increase TV revenue. No, they don't need to increase their TV revenue.
Why are we obsessed with TV revenue? That's not the opportunity. The TV revenue is the TV revenue. It's a like, I don't understand why it's just so like the conference signed a contract. Those numbers are rock solid. They are what they are. The opportunity in money-making land is to win more ball games, get more distribution. It's like the tournament conversation. Hey, the more games you win, the more you get paid. Go win football games.
I am surprised how few people understand the economics of college football. Do you guys understand that Notre Dame's revenue streams are multifaceted and far more diverse than any? Michigan in the Big Ten, Michigan, Ohio State, SC certainly, Oregon certainly. They are like those universities have diverse revenue streams. Now, is the $80 to $100 million in TV revenue significant? Of course it is. But what you're failing to understand is it's not close to Ohio State's biggest revenue stream. It's not close to Notre Dame's biggest revenue stream. Would it be nice to make $50 million more a year in TV revenue? Yeah, but what are you giving up to do that? You're giving up at least $50 million. You're giving up $50 million in licensing. You're giving up $50 million in multimedia deals. You're giving up, you're asking, this would be akin to telling Deion Sanders, hey, join our conference, but you can't do Coach Prime on Amazon Prime Video, and you can't do any of your other multimedia stuff, and we're going to need you to pipe down on social media. Would Deion Sanders do that? No. Why would Notre Dame do that?
They wouldn't.
You'd never do that.
Better yet, why haven't they done it?
Their radio and multimedia deal is worth more than most universities. Do you think Indiana is making the money that Notre Dame's making? No, they're not. It's shocking to me that we really are having this. D-Rock, today is Math with Monty. Listen up, folks. And I think D-Rock is a Notre Dame. I would think you would know this. The economics at Notre Dame are well past a TV contract.
Why do you think they gave up their voice in the CFP conversation to get a guaranteed spot in the CFP every year if they're ranked top 12? Money, dude. Money. Access. That's why.
I want people to understand that I would assume, and again, I don't think we'll ever know the details of it, but the extension that Notre Dame signed with NBC is, I want to say that it is their net, the public number is $50 million. I want to say their net on their new TV deal is closer to $65 million.
Listen, bro, I this has turned into like a Notre Dame conversation. Notre Dame is hardly struggling for money, and I would go on to say that they're thriving because of the position that they've created for themselves in the landscape.
And understand, who's the athletic director at Notre Dame? Pete Bavacqua? Bavacqua. Where did he come from? He came from the trucking industry, right?
Yeah, he has no idea what he's doing, right?
He came from he owned McDonald's restaurant. Oh, no, that's right. He came from NBC.
But wait, who is there? Wait, so this Bavacqua guy came from NBC. Effing Bavacqua came from NBC. What? Who's their TV deal with again?
NBC.
ESPN?
He was.
Oh, no.
He was the chairman of NBC Sports.
So let me get this right. So Notre Dame should join a conference because they're going to make more money, but their leadership is from NBC. They have a deal with NBC, and they're making more money than pretty much everybody else in college football. It's pretty safe to assume, obviously.
Yeah. They made this past season, I think they made $24 million from NBC alone.
Come on, bro.
And then they got $20 million more in the college football playoff. That right there is $44 million. And if they go to, I'm pretty certain, I'll text a friend of mine here in a minute. I'm pretty certain that the total payout yearly for Notre Dame from NBC with linear streaming and app it's like $64 million and change.
Come on, man.
On the new extension. I think that takes us through. I think our deal or Notre Dame's deal, I keep saying ours. Notre Dame's deal. Notre Dame's deal with NBC, I think, runs through 2029.
And then you want to criticize us. The point is you want to criticize us for disagreeing with the sentiment that the Big 12 needs time to grow. Come on, bro. Let's not sugarcoat this.
I hate saying this out loud. Here's a really good point from Eric Wasikowski.
Whoa.
Notre Dame loses more rivals, they'll have to join the Big Ten. This is one of the things. Scheduling. Notre Dame should be playing, you jerk, Michigan every year.
Yeah.
One of the great rivals of my childhood. You're playing SC, you're playing. The other part of this comment, though, Eric, and I think you would agree with this, the Big Ten needs Notre Dame to schedule.
Yeah.
SC and Notre Dame will always play. But note that you're playing Ohio State. We need Michigan, Notre Dame every single year. The fan bases hate each other. I need Lou Holtz and Bo Schembechler.
It should be a November game every year.
And I agree that Notre Dame played a very bad schedule this year. But I also think you would agree that in future years, and I'm looking it up right now because I don't want to speak without knowing. In future years, here's Notre Dame's schedule for 2025. At Miami, at Texas A&M, don't. So you've got an ACC team, an SEC team, and a Big Ten team to open. Barely a Big Ten team. At Arkansas, Boise State at the stadium, USC, Navy, at Pitt, at Boston College, at NC State, Syracuse. Scheduling alliance with the ACC.
Right.
That's a much better schedule than we played in 2024. 2026, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Purdue out of the gate. At North Carolina, Navy, at SC, Florida State, Miami, Syracuse, SMU.
It's a good schedule.
2027. Purdue, Michigan State, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Navy, Wake Forest. So for the next 3 years, their schedule is not a conversation. Notre Dame's schedule is beyond reproach. So you're not having trouble scheduling. You're not having trouble getting on TV. You're making good money and you have access to the college football playoff.
Well, and I think that's the other thing for Notre Dame is that people know, hey, if we play Notre Dame, we're on national TV.
Yeah. Damn right, Phil. Damn right. Angry Phil Venzer. Catholics versus convicts. Again,
100%, dude.
Should be.
God bless.
On the reg, dude. Should be every year. Monty and Jake speaking facts. I know, and I admit, I know I'm a little more over the top than most people about Notre Dame. Yeah, Bavacqua 237. We need that drop. Tommy, just go look up, you guys. Go Google search Lasorda Bavacqua. I'll send a limousine for the sea sucker. It's amazing. Yin-yang relationship with Notre Dame. Totally. Oak State James. Good morning, James. How's the butthole today? Never mind. Are you over that whole thing? I agree. Notre Dame, Michigan should happen every year. I would say the same for Notre Dame, USC should happen every year. It does happen every year.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. What happened to Notre Dame, Michigan that they don't play each other every year anymore? It soured. There was real heat. And most of you probably don't know this. Those of you that were just boiling in the bag at this point, millennials. That was one of the most heated rivalries. It was unbelievable. And they just could not agree to agree. And at that point, Michigan didn't need it and Notre Dame didn't want it. And they never got back together. And it's a real shame. And I want to say that was the Lloyd Carr era where it really fell apart. And maybe Wasikowski, you know as much as I do, but it should not have ever happened.
Right.
Notre Dame and Michigan. It just was one of those games where as a kid, I sat in front of the TV. When is the last time they played this game? Thine last time that we had the beloved was October 26, 2019. And it really started coming apart in the late 90s, 97, 98, 99. And then for 2 years, we didn't play. 2000, 2001. 2002 through 2012, 13, 14. Then we didn't play in 2015, 16, and 17. Played in 2018, played in 2019, and haven't played since. And it's really just unnecessary. And I think any Michigan fan would tell you they really want that game. You know, like it is remarkable to me that we don't play that game every year.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that that's on the schedule every year, but it's not.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But it's not. I totally agree with you. So anyway, here nor there. I don't want to ramble on. Morning, fellas. Have a great day, weekend. Happy Friday. Same to you. Hope the kids are good. Brandon, I would love Notre Dame and Michigan as a week 0 game. Would be an amazing way to start the college football season. It really would. Can you guys imagine that?
Watching Florida State lose to Georgia Tech and Ireland wasn't good enough? Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
So we're going to be like that. Red wine. Iowa State would probably beat Harvard. Maybe. Eye patch. Utah needs to get the deep pockets of Eccles and Huntsman to buy into the athletic program to compete with the Blue Bloods. They have plenty of money.
It's philosophical, not financial.
It is absolute. And at Utah, the administration, I can tell you from firsthand conversations at Utah, the administration is all in to win. They want to win. They support it. You have amazing, for those of you who don't know, Utah has amazing facilities and IPF since Oak State James is here. Amazing practice facility, amazing football center, amazing from weight rooms to training table to,
but not an upper deck. So
exactly that blocks the mountains.
Yeah, not a
you have an amazing stadium that is completely renovated.
Right.
The administration is paid and continues to pay. The donor base, Utah fans are, I think, some of the best fans in the country. It's all about the guy on the sideline. And this is the first time, and I've been covering Kyle Whittingham since 2013, 12 years. This is the first time I can say Kyle Whittingham has made significant, foundational, philosophical changes. The Cam Rising situation, the Jason Beck, Dan Pierce situation.
Yeah.
Would never have seen that in years past. Would never have seen it, ever. Notre Dame and NBC equal Oprah money. It does. Mike, good to see you, dude. Good to see you. I would agree. It's huge money. I mean, huge. Michael Smith, Notre Dame is restarting a Michigan game every year. Michigan State. Well, there is that. Sean McJunkin. Okay. ASU just won the Big 12. Invite Beavs and Cougs. No, I don't think so. I don't think the Big 12's in a place to expand.
Why?
There's no, I don't think so. Oak State James for $5. Right now, Monty is right about the Big 12. Oak State needs to stop being a slacker and beat Oregon in 25. Get it done on the field. P.S. I'm feeling better.
Oh, good.
It's not going to happen, James. It's not going to happen. I hope it does. A lot has to do with how things are structured. SEC colleges depend on more football money, where the Big Ten is more about grants.
I guess.
Yeah. Wasikowski, early 2000s was my era. I was used to watching Notre Dame play the Big Ten annually. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. All right. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, you guys. With all of the Arctic cold and snow, with all the fires in Los Angeles, San Diego, you now have your own advocate's office. Las Vegas, you now have your own advocate's office. Phoenix, you've had your advocate's office. No matter where you are, the advocates are ready to help you take on the insurance companies. And I know you guys think I rail about this. Insurance companies don't give a rat's ass about you. When you get into an accident, again, I look at all of these fire homes. I look at all of our friends in Florida. Yeah, we're not going to be able to cover you with that hurricane insurance because it was flooding. It wasn't the hurricanes that got you. It was the flooding. Hey, but the flooding only happened because of the hurricane. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. We don't want to pay you. So we're going to say it was flood damage. Let the advocates handle the claims process. Let them take all of the fight to the insurance company for you so you can get back to the best version of yourself, whether that's your home, whether that's your physical being, your family. Worry about getting healthy. Worry about everything else. The advocates are going to take it off your plate because you get clear, risk-free advice. When you go to theadvocates.com, you can chat with an injury attorney live online 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime at theadvocates.com. Deion Sanders. Colorado reported, self-reported. I don't see the smoke out of your head yet. Deion Sanders in Colorado self-reported a recruiting violation.
Right.
Why were you so mad about this? You seemed really annoyed about this.
So the reason that this is kind of an annoying one is because of what happened here. So Prime used to, now is not able to.
Coach Prime,
Deion Sanders did his coach's show, live streamed it for people to watch.
And it had a huge audience.
Yeah, it was a great thing. And now, unfortunately, on the last episode of that, I believe it was, Prime referenced Julian Lewis, the quarterback, and their recruitment of him. And it's all been taken down. So
before National Signing Day on December 4th.
Right. So
Deion mentioned Juju in a live stream.
Which you can't do. That's illegal.
He's not your player. You are not allowed to publicly comment on recruits.
Right.
Or players
because
not
it's illegal.
in your program. So, hey, is Ollie Gordon going to Texas, Sark? Can't talk about it. And Deion talked about him by name. It's a minor violation. Why do you hate it? It is a violation, right?
It is a violation. Yes, he broke the rule. The reason I hate it is just because I feel like, Deion was it wasn't like Deion lied about something or was being deceptive or was fighting against the process, right? Like he was doing the show, having a conversation about the offseason, essentially.
Hey, get Juju on the phone and get his pops on the phone. Is the exact quote. That is the violation they reported. And he followed that quote up with, I've spoken to his dad, and his dad is more than comfortable having him play for Coach Prime, is what Coach Prime said.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Because Colorado removed the video from YouTube after it learned of the violation. They have now said they will no longer do Coach Prime's show on live stream. And according to Colorado, they self-reported it and enforced new guidelines to prevent another incident. They won't live stream the show. And he is going to reduce 4 in-person recruiting visits during the 2025 spring contact period.
Yeah.
And you hate it.
Yeah, I think that it's a really, I mean, I can appreciate that they self-reported, right? Like, obviously, they learned of the violations, so then they self-reported it. Like, they went through the process. I can respect that. You know, the thing that I, and it's not really about Colorado per se, but this situation just gets you thinking, like, we're in a time when there's a ton of transfer portal activity and a lot of movement with players, right? Like, there's more than there's ever been. And so it makes you wonder, like, it's not like Coach Prime said, oh man, I went out and recruited this kid and he's an amazing kid. Like, he didn't like wax poetic about Juju. Like he made an offhand reference to him and then spoke on his dad. And that's the violation. So it is what it is. He broke the rule. I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished or they shouldn't have to deal with the consequences.
It is a garden variety violation.
Yeah.
It is clearly more punishment than the NCAA would have handed out. It is a minor violation that happens these violations, minor violations. If you go and look, every university self-reports minor violations pretty much on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
There are things you cannot do. Minor violations include, hey, it's May and I bumped into my quarterback in the hallway and we talked about getting him a new iPad for film study. That's a violation.
That's June. And, I happened to bump into some students at a diner and we had some cheeseburgers together and, it's great.
Minor violation. Well, only it's not, because then the major violation that you got punished for was you lied to the NCAA about it.
So again, I'm not upset that Prime has to deal with these consequences, whatever. Right. It just felt like, gosh, he was just speaking on a player and it is a violation, but it just seemed a bit petty to me. It seemed a little bit silly.
Yeah. Jay McClanahan says, at least Deion didn't give a kid a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And again, what did the NCAA say? The violation itself was not the biggest issue. It's that Coach Khakis.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. The more I see of Prime, the less I like him. How do you like Deion Sanders less?
Walk me through why you don't like Deion Sanders.
I've always struggled with this part because when I look at Deion Sanders, I'm not a Colorado fan. I'm a huge Coach Prime fan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, he plays us on his show.
Hey, by the way, 57
for 3
minutes to the
seconds.
Diamond Turfs.
Yeah, I cannot wait. 57
Do
minutes.
you believe?
One of the shoes of my childhood is being re-released by Nike today. Anyway, the point is, Deion Sanders is what's right with college football. Treats his kid well, treats his kid as respectfully as you could ever want your kid to be treated. And when I say his kid, I don't mean Shador. I don't mean, his sons, Shiloh. I mean all of his players. His kids have, for the first time in the history of Colorado, a 3.0 grade point average on the football team.
Yeah. It's huge.
They're well-fed. They're maturing. They're mentored. Like, it's everything that you want a football program to be. And now they're winning games.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you don't like Deion Sanders, help me understand that. ACC West Coast Commissioner Gumby. Minor violation, enjoying KC barbecue. Nobody enjoys KC barbecue. Anime, what's up? Good morning, dude. Good to see you. I'm glad you're back. LOL, Prime talks too much. I was so happy that BYU absolutely destroyed.
Well, hey, that's cool. That's fine. I mean, if that's your take.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not personal. That's football.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't like free shoes. Scum Dallas and liberal theology. Besides that, Deion is okay, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. You hate Dallas, so
I
okay.
think it's hilarious that, like, because Deion Sanders does it better in terms
Prime.
of Coach Prime does it better than the average Joe coach in college football with the video stuff and the marketing, and you see more of it. that inherently means that he just talks more. Do you think that other coaches don't do the same things that Deion does? Like, come on now.
Welcome to the nightmare. Speaking of coaches, Nightmare, are you excited about UCF this year?
No.
I think, well, we'll see. A lot of change coming into the bounce house. I'm surprised that Chad isn't blowing up with the hate on Prime over a small violation.
Oh, no.
I am too. Make sure you all hit the like button, please. It really helps the channel grow. Hey, really nice day yesterday on Spotify. Really good day on Spotify yesterday. If you're a podcast person, all of our video podcast is on Spotify. Just search The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. Thank you to everybody that watched it on Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you are. Thanks. Come over to YouTube. Please hit subscribe and then give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Trying to get to 150,000 before next football season. Summer is historically the slower time for picking up subscribers.
Yeah.
Please, if you're watching the show anywhere else, come on over to YouTube, hit subscribe, and please give us a like. We always try to get to 100 likes during the live show. We don't always make it, but it helps. Coach Prime has won me over. I respect how he turned things around in Colorado. Okay. Will you be on board with firing Mike Gundy if he does not go to a bowl game this year? Will you be on board with firing Mike Gundy if they don't go to the playoffs this year?
I was going to say a bowl game. That's
if they don't win the conference, the Big 12 conference. Are you on board with removing Mike Gundy? That's my question.
Yeah. What's the level of success for him to keep his job?
Jay McClanahan, I'm not a Colorado fan, but I have to take my hat off to what Deion brings to the game in the Big 12. 100%.
Yeah, and I also think heading into this year, this is the year where his story is really going to be written in the Big 12. His kids aren't there anymore. Travis is gone. Like, now it's time to actually start developing.
Brought in multiple quarterbacks,
Yeah.
Brought in a lot of new talent. Phil Lodeholt leaving Colorado. You know what's funny? An NFL guy said to me yesterday, don't count out Deion in Dallas just yet.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You're really telling me that Jerry Jones is going to hire Schottenheimer, a no experienced head coach?
But Brian Schottenheimer's been everybody's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Who are you, Liam Coen?
Come on,
My point
dude.
is, we're going to talk about that. I don't think if I put a percentage on Deion of the Dallas Cowboys.
I still think it's 30-40%, dude.
Okay, I was going to be 70-30 no.
Yeah.
He's staying at Colorado. But I
mean, doesn't, not to get too sidetracked here, but I have to say, while we're talking about Deion, isn't Schottenheimer got scrub head coach written all over him, like great coordinator, bad head coach written all over him?
You did this to yourself, Jerry.
You did.
Shad Jones.
Right? Like,
Jerry Kahn.
And I'm a vampire feeding off mass disappointment.
You did this to yourself. God, I love you for that. You did this to yourself, Shad Jones.
yeah.
Like
I'm sorry, you thought Liam Coen was the right guy?
Did you guys hear about this thing in Jacksonville? This is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. So this cat, Liam Coen, you don't know who that is. Nobody does.
Who the hell is Liam?
Well, he's actually a really good offensive coordinator.
Who the f*** is that guy?
He's the offensive coordinator of Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers.
Was.
Thank you. Good old Liam gets a phone call from the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trent Baalke, the general manager of the Jags. Hey, why don't you come interview? Okay, sure. Yeah, let's set it up. Time goes on. Time to set up an interview. Nah, I'm good.
No.
I'm going to stay in Tampa, and I'm going to become the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL.
So that happens, and everyone's
Renegotiating
like, okay.
a contract, got it done. Ring, ring. Hi, this is Liam. Hey, it's shitty owner Shad Khan in Jacksonville. Why aren't you coming to interview for us? I hate Trent Baalke.
How about that?
Well, okay, I'll fire him. Okay. Hey, look at that. They fired Trent Baalke. That's weird. Next day, Liam Coen, the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL, is the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're out of here.
And you know why he took the job? They're going to allow him to choose the general manager, too. Let me get this right. Now, I'm just little old Monty over here.
Right. Morty.
Hey, Monty, if you were Shad Khan, how would you build your football team? Well, I'd hire a general manager, and I'd let the general manager hire the head coach.
Okay.
Only you fired the general manager so you could hire a head coach, and the head coach is going to hire another general manager.
It was at this moment that he knew.
Yeah.
He fucked
Who
up.
are you, the Jets? Do you guys understand how bad football teams operate? The Jets fired their general manager, hired their head coach, who's going to have significant say in the GM. The Jaguars and Fivehead fired their general manager because the coach they wanted wouldn't work for the general manager, and now they're going to have the coach hire a general manager.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
And the general manager in Dallas, hello, Jerry, didn't fire the head coach, wouldn't let him interview for other jobs, and then he fired the head coach.
Bruh.
And what do all these teams have in common? They
They're
don't win
trash.
games. They don't win games.
Hot ass.
This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Now, before we get to the comments section, we must ask this question that we were talking about before the show. Pull up the draft order. So you hired Liam Coen as your head
this
coach.
was a fight.
So here's my question.
Do you feel stupid now that you've thought this through?
I don't feel as stupid as Shad Khan is, but this might be one of my dumbest takes. So you're Jacksonville. Fivehead has been five-heading for a couple seasons now.
And how?
And hasn't been very good for you.
Trevor
Admittedly,
Lawrence.
though, you're a terrible team and a terrible organization. So in this year's draft, you're fifth. Now, please educate me as to why you should trade for Trevor Lawrence.
Now, I would, let me ask you this. You're the Tennessee Titans,
Right.
the Cleveland Browns, or the New York Giants.
A lot of options, a lot of ways we could go here.
All three of those teams need a quarterback.
Yeah.
What's his first? Shad Khan, not idiot. Sorry, mispronounced that.
So I said, yeah.
Shad Khan calls you, or whoever Liam Coen hires to be the general manager, calls you and says, hey, we'll take that first pick. How about we give you Trevor Lawrence in the fifth pick for the number 1 overall pick? If I'm Tennessee, I'm like, why don't you throw in a 7th rounder and the deal's done? Because in your argument was, well, they're going to draft Shedeur Sanders, and I'd rather have Shedeur Sanders than Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
No thanks. And here's why. Because if you're Will Levis or you're Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes,
Yes.
Or if you're Cleveland, who doesn't have a quarterback at all, do you want to take a risk on a rookie? And I think Shedeur or Cam Ward are going to be amazing. But do you want to take a risk on a rookie or take a really good quarterback in Trevor Lawrence?
Well, Monty, what do you mean he's a really good quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence is a guy that I think it needs a change of scenery. And I think he's sacked more than he completes passes. And he has not, in my opinion, even with Dougie P there, who I think is a really good developer of quarterbacks, Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
He's not learned how to not get his head ripped off by defenders, even though the hit was illegal, should have never been in that position.
Aziz.
But Trevor Lawrence needs somebody to teach him how to play quarterback. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, that is my Buddha. That's the guy. That is my quarterback muse, Trevor Lawrence. If I'm trying to replace Will average ass Levis, Trevor Lawrence is a massive upgrade.
It's my quarterback.
If I'm the New York Giants, are you telling me that Trevor Lawrence doesn't instantly make them a much better offense? He does. Is he elite? No, but I think he can be elite. And if I'm any one of those three teams, and furthermore, let's keep going down the draft board. Las Vegas, the Jets, New Orleans, Indianapolis, all of them need Trevor Lawrence. I'm making the phone call. Hey, give us Trevor Lawrence. We'll give you, hey, Jacksonville, it's bowl cut in Las Vegas. Give us Trevor Lawrence. We'll give you the 6th pick, so you can pick 5 and 6. Give us Trevor Lawrence. We'll give you the 6th pick in a 7th rounder. And you don't have to include any salary. Who says no? You think Tom Brady's not going to? You think Tom Brady's not going to be a good influence on Mr. Massive Forehead?
Okay, I like that deal, the Jacksonville Raiders deal. That deal makes a lot of sense. The only other factor here that has to be brought up is cost. So Trevor Lawrence is going to cost you significantly more than, Shedeur Sanders.
He'll take the money in crypto.
Right. Yeah. Crypto guy.
He took his signing bonus as a rookie in cryptocurrency.
I don't know. I'm not saying your logic is off. I think it's more of just an opinion-based thing. Like, the logic is sound, but I'm struggling with, hey, what do you believe in more? Do you believe in more that Trevor Lawrence in a new situation, can take you to the wild card round inside of 2 seasons? Or do you believe more that, Shedeur Sanders can go down the, Jaden Daniels route, if you will, and be an impactful rookie QB right out the gate?
Listen to his money. In 2025, $17 million. 24 and 26, 35 and 27, and 47 and 28. You control this cat all the way through 2028, and he's never going to be more than 14% of your salary cap. And, Monty, Trevor Lawrence sucks balls. Okay, so you think Trevor Lawrence sucks? Okay, let me ask you, what in his stats says he sucks? There's one stat that stands out that Trevor Lawrence struggles with. Completion percentage. That's his number one stat he struggles with. And his career average is 63%. He's got, in 2022, right, he played all 17 games, 4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's top of the table, dog. Like,
he was playing well, yes.
He does not suck. I got news for you.
And
Trevor Lawrence is a really good quarterback.
I'm not saying he does. What I'm saying is that again, if you consider the draft order, none of these organizations know how to develop a quarterback. When's the last time the Tennessee Titans developed a quarterback?
Kevin Stefanski is an excellent. I would agree with you. Brian Daboll in the Giants. Tennessee, I'm looking at Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland. How do you say no to this? If I'm Tom Brady and the Raiders, how do you say no to this? I don't know.
Is Stefanski and ownership on the same page now?
Yes. Well, he didn't get fired, so that would tell me that's a yes.
Yeah.
And when I look at the numbers, and you look at when Trevor Lawrence plays an entire year, his best year slots in 7th this year. His best year was better than the year that Patrick Mahomes had this year. Oh, he sucks. Takes a huge hit, concussion, misses games.
Right.
This is
His
the first
season ended on that play.
This is the first year on an illegal hit. This is the first year he's missed significant time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that Trevor Lawrence, who missed 7 games, still finished top 30 in the league in passing. Trevor Lawrence, when you look at his numbers, 3,641, 4,113, 4,016. And the guy's been sacked 112 times.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a case to be made that he can be a 5,000-yard guy in the right environment. I
agree.
There's no question about that. I think the hard part is going to be, what are those situations that he's going to go to? I mean, obviously from the Titans side of things, from the Browns, the Raiders, whoever you want to look at, they have to have the ability to develop somebody. I mean, I guess Stefanski's a very capable head coach. There's no question about it. Obviously he's a good developer of players, but I'm sitting here wondering, like, dude, what's more of a risk? On one side of the fence, you can say that Trevor Lawrence is less of a risk because he's already been in the league. He's accustomed to the game. He's shown you, as we just looked at statistically, that he can be a top 10 quarterback in the league, given or provided that he's protected, provided that he has weapons. But I also think about guys like Shador. I think about Cam Ward. I mean, these are guys that are more athletic than Trevor Lawrence. Could be better quarterbacks than Trevor Lawrence. But again, it's that same question. And this is, I guess, ultimately what we get back to in any conversation in the NFL, which is, hey, which organizations can take the player and turn that player into a difference-making quarterback, right? What better example of this than in Washington this year, right? I don't know that I'm like, oh, man, I'm totally sold. Even the Jets, dude. You have a defensive-minded head coach now in New York. You're really telling me that the Jets are going to go out and get Trevor Lawrence after the debacle with Aaron Rodgers? Come on, man. I'm
not saying it's not a risk.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that I don't know that there's a situation for Trevor Lawrence right now in these teams that are at the top of the draft who would be in this conversation where it's better for him.
How many of those teams are taking quarterback? If you look down this list,
I think the top 3 are all taking quarterback.
You think all of them are taking quarterback?
I think that they unless they trade, and I will give you credit, there is a lot of smoke about Tennessee trading out of that number 1 pick, as there is every year.
We heard this.
We heard this with the Bears. We've heard this almost every year. So I'm not surprised to hear the noise, but there is definitely traction on Tennessee trading out of the number 1. And getting some value for that. So again,
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Best receiver in that group there. Well, it's probably Malik Neighbors with the Giants.
Yeah.
Is Malik Neighbors a better wide receiver? Is he ever a 1,500-yard wide receiver? Well, I think he can be.
Can you go back to Trevor Lawrence's best years and pull up Brian Thomas's numbers?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because Brian Thomas is not every single year a great wide receiver, but I can't remember which year it was that he had a baller year with Trevor Lawrence. And that was one of Trevor Lawrence's best
2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
Brian Thomas. No, 2024. Brian Thomas had 1,282 yards. And his game logs this year, when were his best games? His best game was probably Jacksonville, the Raider game.
Look at the targets, how much they drop off.
Oh, massively when Trevor Lawrence went out.
Lawrence went out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no question about it. But if you just go and let's look at
Malik Neighbors.
Well, Malik Neighbors is a stud. There's no doubt about that. If you look at Trevor Lawrence's best year, let's look at their how about 2022?
Yeah.
Arguably 2022 is his best year. 2023 wasn't a bad year either. If you look at their stats, what were his biggest games? His biggest games, I think, were probably the Tennessee game. He throws for 368 and 3 scores.
Yeah.
Screw you. You look at Evan Ingram, right? Riley Patterson kicking field goal. Zay Jones, perfect example.
Zay Jones, yeah.
Perfect example. His best receivers were Zay Jones and Evan Ingram. And Evan Ingram's a hell of a wide receiving tight end.
Yeah.
But if you look at Zay Jones is a guy that thrived under Trevor Lawrence for 1 year, 823 yards.
Okay, so
he hasn't had Malik Neighbors level talent.
Okay, so let's say that the Giants do the steal.
Yes.
Let's say that, so the Giants, what are the Giants? Number 3 in the draft, I think it is.
Let me put the draft order back up.
Right, they're 3rd in the draft.
Yep.
They're going to trade down to 5.
They're going to swap picks with the Giants and give the Giants probably
Jacksonville.
Excuse me. And Jacksonville's probably going to give them a little bit of cash. Or the Giants will give them a little bit of cash and an extra draft pick.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how you say no to it. If you're the Cleveland Browns, dude, Kevin Stefanski is a multi-time coach of the year. And I would ask you, is Baker Mayfield the quarterback he is today without Kevin Stefanski?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
It makes a lot of sense. That's all. Let's get into the
What do you guys think of this?
Let's see what
Because
you
I think
guys
it
have
is a
to say.
legitimate conversation. I just think it'll come down to what these organizations view as less risky.
Let's get to 250K by the end of the year. That's really hard to do on you. To pick up 100,000, 120,000 in 11 months is.
You need to start sharing the show if you want that to happen.
Yeah, big time. And Donuts, I lived in Boulder for a couple of years, and I can't believe prime success. It's a different world there. It is. It is. But, you know, Stadium Guy James, if Gundy doesn't get to a bowl this year, he has to retire. No, he should be fired, not retire. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Jags are going to Jag. Who are you? The New York Jets?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I subscribe to this channel, even though I know Monty uses me as a foil for his diabolical anti-Michigan schemes.
Okay.
I'm not the anti-Michigan guy on this show. That'd be Troy Smith, who's the anti-Michigan guy. You know Troy Smith, the Ohio State legend, who said Professor Khakis ran to the next level because they cheated.
Via social media.
I think I've said that on this show. And this is in response to Jim Harbaugh kicking the crap out of Ohio State in his life. First 6 seasons. Right? Like it is.
The rivalry lives on.
It is inarguable that Jim Harbaugh cheated at Michigan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Ryan Day paid a heavy price for that. Jim Harbaugh absolutely escaped to the NFL.
Yeah.
Egan, Malik Neighbors will have 1,500 yards with Cam Ward or Sanders. I think that would not be this coming year. I hope people understand the limitations that Cam Ward is going to have to overcome.
What do you mean 700 with Trevor Lawrence?
This is you. My guess is you haven't seen it.
Yeah. You have not watched Trevor Lawrence.
Mike Smith says Air McNair. Boy, weren't those the day. San Diego State Glenn. Trevor Lawrence also struggles with pick sixes at inopportune times. Absolutely, 100%. He has.
And again, the point is not that Trevor Lawrence is perfect. That's not the point. The point is that the guy has shown you that he has really high level NFL football in him.
32 minutes.
But he just needs to get to the correct, the correct opportunity. That's the conversation. Nobody's saying the guy is Patrick Mahomes, but the reality is he did have a year in Jacksonville, albeit that was Patrick Mahomes level. You can't run from that.
Brandon Butler, good morning, sir. I think if you are going full rebuild, you have to trade Trevor Lawrence to reset your cap. And that contract is so affordable, it fits under everybody's cap. The eye patch, Trevor Lawrence greater than all Raider QBs now. It's a no-brainer for the Raiders and for Cleveland.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Stadium Guy James, I'd take Trevor Lawrence over Dak Prescott. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. As the resident Texans fan,
first team All Aziz,
I have to think Trevor Lawrence sucks, but ownership has done him no favors. Dude, Bryce, you ain't wrong, my guy. You are not wrong. Trevor would be a legend in Minnesota. They have an offense that would fit him perfectly. I think that's
true.
true.
JJ, first team All Michigan, right?
Yeah,
a Michigan man.
Free Harbaugh.
Right? Flowing locks on the sideline.
Do they keep Darnold?
No. They're going to trade Sam Darnold or cut him. Yeah.
Well, he's a free agent, I think. You have to bring him back. I would take Trevor Lawrence over a bag of left-handed doorknobs. Well, that's a tough call. I'll need some time to check the doorknob stats.
Yeah.
UW fan Jim, Shedeur Sanders will be available by the 5th pick. I think that's a really interesting question, Jim. And the answer is I don't know. I can't see him getting past the Giants. If there's no trades, right? If there's no trades and everything remains equal.
But again, I'm telling you, Tennessee is going to trade out, and they will trade out with one of these teams that really could use, you look at Indianapolis. They're not going to trade up to get Shedeur Sanders because they have Anthony Richardson, but a team like that really needs
that was.
Yeah, he's just not worked out. And I really thought he would change, and he just hasn't.
He sucks.
Yeah, he just has not changed to the NFL way of life. and it's really disappointing.
When are you guys going to acknowledge my greatness on right? Because I deserve some credit on AR-15 sucking out loud.
No.
Yes, I do. I think Tennessee, if they stay there, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders?
I would take Shedeur. I think he's more responsible. I think he absorbs the information better. Like
Cleveland Browns, Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders?
Well, if you make the Lawrence deal,
I think you got to take. If by the way, if you're Tennessee, you got to take Travis Hunter. But you have so many needs on that club. The New York Giants. I think whatever quarterback didn't go ahead of you.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that, Travis isn't going 1 or 2. You can't tell me a quarterback's not going 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I'd have trouble with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's any combination of Shedeur, Cam Ward, and Travis Hunter. Those are your first 3 picks in the draft.
Patriots at 4.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously with Vrabel at the helm, defense is going to be a top priority. So,
Defense, or do you get a weapon for...
I would get a weapon for Buddy. Drake
but
May.
is there a wide receiver that fits that build? I don't think there is. I really don't think there is. So I would probably go Abdul Carter from Penn State.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, I think this is a total wild card. You could easily go defense, right? But I would go offensive line, right?
Yeah.
Raiders at 6. You cannot pick here. By the way, 26 minutes.
Right.
Until the Diamond Turf drops in on the Sneakers app. The Raiders cannot make this pick. They have to trade up. You have to have a quarterback. Have to. I don't think, to your point, Jim, I don't think that Shedeur is available at the 5th pick.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. Anime says Cleveland should be banned for life from drafting QBs in the first round. I was born in Cleveland, but damn, we always blow it in the first round. What, Tim Couch? Does it hurt your groin that Baker Mayfield's in Tampa? Especially now that you're probably going to cut Watson? Dude, you want to talk about messing it up. Mike Smith. Dallas has half of last year's team with Washington. Beat the Eagles, please. Well, are you guys surprised the lines have been pretty stable in these games? Commanders are still minus or +6 to the Eagles in Philly. The Commanders are not going to beat Philadelphia.
I mean, we can get into it if you want.
I don't want to, but because there's also this game, and you and I both know how this is going to turn out. Right? I mean, the officials are going to win this game.
A lot.
You know that.
Right?
You know that.
Patrick, are you going to start stroking dudes? Patrick? Wow. That felt aggressive. I was more Brooks Koepka than anything.
Right.
Okay. And I'm happy to get into it. NFL playoff talk on the Monty Show presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Dude, use the promo code Monty to open a new account at Prize Picks. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more instantly. The free play this week, again, and I can only say this so many times, Jaden Daniels for half a passing yard.
Yeah.
Are you guys, there's never been a better time to win money at Prize Picks. You deposit $5, they will give you 50 more at prizepicks.com. Download the app. Here's how you win. I stayed away from it last night. Staying away from it is not how you win.
Right.
I stayed away from it last night. I was all in on the Lakers last night. I was like, they're not. My gut was they're going to beat the Celtics, and Anthony Davis is going to have a huge game because he's not in street clothes.
Right.
The Lakers won the game, but Anthony Davis had a 44.5-point number. Anthony last night, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah.
So that's 35. I'd have lost on that. Are you guys amazed at what LeBron James is doing?
Nope.
I can't believe that the guy is 20-14 last night. How?
Because he's not actually 40 years old on the inside, man. He's taking care of his body.
That's internal, and I don't want to talk about it.
Huh?
Austin Reeves last night, 23. I'm just telling you. Dalton Connect, 13, 3 of 4 from 3 again last night. Why is Dalton Connect only playing 14 minutes?
That's all they needed from him, apparently.
Well, Max Christie's getting 30. Somebody needs to help me understand that. Prize Picks, download the app. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty. And again, I'm just telling you, Jaden Daniels. I'll do one right here for you. NFL Prize Picks.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, yes, half a passing yard. I'm going to go more. Does Saquon Barkley score a rushing touchdown?
Yes.
Does Jake Elliott make 2 field goals in
No.
this game? You think he doesn't?
I don't think he field goals. No,
Field goals.
I don't think he does.
Wow.
Nope.
Terry McLaurin touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Saquonator for a score. And then the other one is, does Josh Allen run for a touchdown?
Yes.
You think he does?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
He's going to have to. I mean, he's going to have to do that to win this game.
All right. Jaden Daniels, half a passing yard more. Saquon Barkley, rushing touchdown more. Although that's on a goblin.
So do a demon.
Which means you get paid less.
A demon.
I'm going to...
Monty?
I can't do it with Saquon on a goblin. How about rush receiving touchdowns?
Yeah. What do you got there?
Saquon, his demon is 2 rushing touchdowns. Terry McLaurin for a receiving touchdown.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah. I like that one a lot.
Jaden Daniels, 1 passing yard. Yes, more. Josh Allen, a rushing touchdown. Yes. Terry McLaurin, a rushing or rusher receiving touchdown. Yes. Flex play. That means I only have to get 2 of 3 right. With Jaden McDaniels on half a passing yard, Chaboy is winning.
Uh-huh.
So it's either Josh Allen or Terry McLaurin scoring a touchdown. I feel pretty good about that. Let's submit that lineup.
Do it.
Now, let's do Patty Mahomes. Sorry, I need to, my bad. Let's do a prize pick around Patty Mahomes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I am certainly going Jaden Daniels, half a passing yard more.
Right.
Now, what do you like in the Chiefs game? Travis Kelce, 70 receiving yards, excuse me.
That's
rough.
What's Xavier Worthy got working?
Your mom.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me look. Receiving yards. Xavier Worthy, he sucks too. 49.5 yards. His demon number is 59.5 yards.
I mean, it's a high number, but he's 1 play away from that.
I'm staying the hell away from that. Passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes on a demon, 3 passing touchdowns. Yeah, is it going to be a high-scoring game?
I mean,
is it going to be a high-scoring game?
I think. I mean, isn't the number 48 in this one? I think it was.
Here's the line on that. There, Patty Mahomes stroking dudes. 48, 47.5. I'm going over on that.
Yeah.
Game. All right, so I'll take Patty Ice on 3. Josh Allen, his demon is 2 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think
I'm gonna a little risky here. A little risky, no risk it, no biscuit type situation.
I would agree with that.
Half yard with Jaden, just like we talked about. DeAndre Hopkins, a no-show last week, but I think that was largely scheme related. His demon receiving number is only 29.5. So I'm taking that.
How about Saquon Barkley, 148 total yards? Do you go more or less?
Probably more. Yeah.
His demon is 160 total yards, rushing and receiving. I can't see him doing that. Not on the Commanders' defense.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson, 48 yards rushing and receiving. Man, this is tough, dude. This is a tough one. How about That's rough, dude. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
This Chiefs-Bills game.
Take the big players, Jaden Daniels, Saquon Barkley, and either Patty Mahomes.
How about Jalen Hurts passing and rushing yards combined 218?
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna go more on that.
They're gonna score against Washington for sure.
I would agree with that. I'm also gonna do more on okay, Jaden Daniels half of passing yard more. Jalen Hurts 218 yards passing and rushing more. Josh Allen 283.5 passing and rushing more.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
All right, those are my two prize picks. Those are my two prize picks lineups. That's where Chaboy is at.
Great. Perfect.
So I feel really good about that.
Yeah, those should be good. You should win on those for sure.
I feel really good about that. Okay. The Jalen Hurts one scares me a little bit. That scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to have to reevaluate our circumstances. Prize Picks, download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more instantly when you use the promo code Monty. What's the number on Chris Jones sacks? Well, he's only got one sack, I think, right? Unless there's some kind of freak that I don't know about.
Chris Jones sacks.
Tackles.
See.
Is there a sack number?
Yeah. They always do. I think it's all the way at the back, though. Yeah, sacks right here. Quarter sack is his demon number. So he needs one sack to win on that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Give me that. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that. Jalen Carter for a sack, 100%.
Jalen Carter.
What?
All team SRT. That awkward guy. Monty, just the promo is $5 to get 50. No, the minimum. Okay, cool. Egan, found the show last week with all the OSU coverage. You guys do a great show. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
The Lakers need to play that rookie more. 15 minutes ever since he went off ever since he went off for almost 41 game, they have been reducing his minutes and he's not as aggressive with his offense. Okay. I agree that Dalton Connect needs more minutes. Mike Smith, it is snowing again and I am tired. I see an unintentional nap in the near future.
Dude, I am
jealous.
with you, my bro.
Jealous.
Jelly.
Totally jelly. Tom Smartass Dean. Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
I predict the refs will call the game so as to give the game to the Bills over the Chiefs. Cue Monty's rant. Okay. You know.
Yeah.
The awkward guy. It's all dependent on your zip code. The minimum deposit is not. Yeah, it's not the same everywhere, as we've explained in the past. I got too deep into the rules and regulations. Like in Arizona, you're not on Prize Picks. You can't play flex play.
Yeah.
That's not available in Arizona. Prize Picks is not available in Nevada because of the casinos. So there you have it. AFC Championship game. Bills at Chiefs, -2, 47.5. 5:30 p.m. CBS. Over under Patrick Mahomes necking with multiple officials.
Over.
Do you guys at least embrace that this is one of the greatest fakes that's ever been made?
Yes.
How do you go against the Chiefs here? It's at Gay-Ha Field.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Allen has not been that guy. So I ask you point blank, as you're hitting the like button right now on the Marty program, I ask you point blank. We've had almost 2,500 views and only 68 likes.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button, please. Do you believe that Josh Allen's a big game quarterback?
Yes. I think that this year has been a little bit different for him. He obviously against the Chiefs, he's given several games away through bad decisions, turnovers. There's no getting away from that. This year, though, I like their chances. And the only reason it's different is because he's been a lot more responsible with his decision making, and he's not running just to run, right? Like he's running for effect, as we always talk about. and he understands how to beat the defense by being patient. And I think that's the thing when you go to Arrowhead at Gayha Field. You need to be patient. You need to let the play unfold a little bit. Use your legs to buy time, and then make good decisions. And if he does that, they are going to have a great opportunity to win this ball game. And yes, I think we need to talk about the officiating in this game. I am going to go out on a limb and say that, yeah, the Chiefs are going to get probably 5 or 6 calls in this game. Now, my question is, how disciplined is the Buffalo defense going to be? Are you going to do what the Texans did? Are you going to make, are you going to put Mahomes in that type of opportunity to draw a penalty? Or are you going to be smart?
I'm taking the Chiefs to win this game. I don't trust Josh Allen, and until he does it and shows me he's a big game quarterback, the costly mistake that he has made year in and year out, when you go to Arrowhead, it's only magnified, right? When you go to Arrowhead, it gets more difficult. It doesn't get easier. The game doesn't slow down. It gets faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Chris Jones for the Chiefs is playing at an incredibly high level right now. And as many sacks as one man can have, I think Josh Allen's going to have to show me that he can make that play in that moment. I think the refs are on the Chiefs' side. I think that Patrick Mahomes is playing good football. And I think that Chiefs defense is pretty remarkable right now for what's there. I just have trouble picking Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is I don't think the Chiefs are the same team that they've been in terms of beating the best in the league. What did it take for the Chiefs to or what did it take for the Ravens to lose? It took mistake after mistake after mistake, turnovers, bad mistakes. If Josh Allen and the Bills can just come into Arrowhead and play a clean game, penalties, regardless of the penalties, right? Like if you're going to come in here and they're going to call, a contact to the head penalty, okay, but you can't throw interceptions, and I don't think he's going to. I think that Keon Coleman's going to show out in this game. I think that Josh Allen is on a mission, and I am going to pick him to win this game. I think that the Chiefs don't have the defense they once had, and I think that hasn't been exposed yet because they just haven't seen the best the league has to offer. So I think I'm going to pick them. I think this is their year, and if it's not going to happen this year, it's never going to happen for the Bills.
The eye patch, I'm with you as a Raider fan. It's tough picking the Chiefs, but until the Bills show me they can beat them, you got to pick the Chiefs. I think you're exactly right. Delaric, I would like a Commanders-Bills Super Bowl, but the NFL wants Eagles-Chiefs, so they are sending some of those Chiefs refs to the Eagles game just in case. I have trouble leaning in on Buffalo winning this game.
This is a field goal game, high-scoring field goal game.
Okay, so what's your final score and what's your prediction? Let me put the line back up there. It's 47.5. I have to think that this is like these two defenses are good. They're not elite.
Mm-hmm.
I think the defense in Washington and Philadelphia are far better. Last night I was looking at it, and I can't see either one of these teams getting a 30, but I could see a 27-21, 27-24 kind of game, and I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess I see it a little bit differently. I think that these two teams know they have to be aggressive to score. They know that they're going to have to push the ball down the field. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I was more like 35-31. 35, like 35-point number for the winner, and the loser's a field goal behind.
And don't get me wrong, boys. I want, with all of my wanting and all of my hoping, I absolutely want and hope for Buffalo to come through. 10 minutes until you watch live on the show as my heart gets crushed
again.
I want Buffalo to win this game desperately. I can't tell you to do that because I just don't see how it happens.
What else are people saying?
24-21 Chiefs. The eye patch, 21-20 KC refs. I think that's real. I'm taking the Chiefs 27-24.
Okay.
NFC Championship. The Washington Cliffies. Cliff Kingsbury and the Washington offense versus the Philadelphia defense. That's what this game's going to come down to. Jalen Hurts is a huge question in my mind.
How's the knee?
Not as much as a question as, do you guys buy into Jaden Daniels being this guy that is just over the moon, amazing?
Mm-hmm.
How did we ever have an NFL without Jaden?
Well, I don't know about all that. I buy into that he's prepared. I buy into that he knows what the defense is doing and where his opportunities are. And I think for that reason, that's why you see the touchdown to interception ratio where it is. That's why you see the completion percentage being what it is. And, when we were just doing prize picks earlier, that's why I said I think, Scary Terry getting a touchdown in this game is you can just write that down, because what do we know about Philly? Well, we know that Philly runs the hell out of the ball. We know that. And we know that they are good. For all jokes aside, we know that 3-4 first downs in this game for Philly are going to come from the tush push. We know that, and it's unstoppable. And for that reason, I'm really having a hard time picking the Commanders in this game. But what I like for the Commanders in this game is there hasn't been a defense that stopped them. All last week, what did we hear? Hey, Detroit's defense. Bro, they were all over that defense. They were prepared and ready and in a great spot. So I'm not so concerned about them scoring in this game. I'm concerned that they're just not going to be able to stop Saquon at all, even a little bit.
It's the Saquon.
Yeah.
I'm taking Philly in this game. It's at home. There's a reason they're a 6-point favorite in this game. I feel like there is no doubt in my mind that finally we're going to get a game where it's not going to be a snowball. Snow globe, whatever you want to call
Outdoor game with decent weather.
It is, yes, sir. It is on Sunday forecasted to be in the middle 30s at kickoff. This is a Philadelphia win.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback and a great story.
What's the difference last week to this week? Big time offenses thrive indoor, not outdoor.
Well, I think that I look at Jaden going to Detroit, dominated against what's been a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
To complete 71% there, to complete 68% in Tampa on grass, to absolutely maybe not be perfect, but he was really good. Here's the problem. I think the Eagles' defense is more aggressive than Detroit was capable of being because they weren't healthy, and they're more talented than Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jaden's in for some schemes and some looks he hasn't seen. And I think that this Philadelphia offense is ready. I think
I would agree with that.
When I look at Philadelphia, how healthy is Jalen Hurts, who I want to like, but it's very difficult for me because I just think he makes a lot of mistakes. I don't know, and frankly, I really don't care. I think that Jalen Hurts is never going to put up the passing numbers that a Jaden Daniels does, but he doesn't need to.
Right.
He is a dual threat against the Rams, 15-20, 128 yards, 7 sacks. That concerns me. 7 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown. And if you are the Rams in a really aggressive, I think a more aggressive defense than Washington, you gave up 205 yards and 2 scores to Saquon Barkley. I love the Eagles.
It was coming.
I love the Eagles in this game. You need to get A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith going early. And I think you have got to throw the ball to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And if they do that, I think the Eagles walk away from the Commanders in this game. I think this could be a 31-17 kind of game for the Eagles.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree about is throwing it to Saquon. I don't think they're going to need to. I don't think they're going to have to do that because I think that offensive line is going to dominate the Washington defensive line. I think what we know about Washington is it's a high-scoring offense. Back end of the defense is pretty solid.
5 minutes.
They're not good at stopping the run. That's what we know.
5 minutes until Monty heartbreak.
Yeah. And so to me, I think this has at least another 150 yards for Saquon written all over it. I don't know that he gets to 200 yards, but 150 yards on the ground for Saquon. And it's just going to be a question of what does Washington's offense look like? Because that's the game they want to play.
But can Nick Sirianni get out of his own way in a massive game?
Yeah, it's clock management issues coming into play in this game.
Yeah. Old Tatanka, 31-28 Bills. Brandon Butler, I want Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, but I can't see them getting past the stacked deck in Kansas City. Totally agree. Jalen, at least 90% Eagles win easily. Kind of agree with that. The eye patch. Hurts has enough around him on both sides of the ball that he doesn't need to go Warren Moon 405 tutties. True. I like the Eagles. I like the Chiefs. I would much rather see Bills and Commanders. I want new blood in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We're getting the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Yeah.
I feel pretty certain of that. And I think this one right here, this is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Can Josh Allen win the big game? Do you believe in him? He's a really good quarterback in the regular season. He has not been that guy in the postseason.
Dude, he's one step away from getting to another level. And it takes time.
The thing that worries me is the Chiefs defense is that defense that will punish you if you run a lot as a quarterback. And I don't know, man. I think that
he can't make mistakes. That's all it is. He can run. He can do what he wants to do, but don't turn the football over. If you turn the football over, you're going to lose this game. It's that simple. But if you take care of the ball in this game, and the play calling is reasonable, it's like what we talked about with the Notre Dame Ohio State game. Bro, stay on schedule as an offense. What you can't have is Josh Allen playing hero ball all game.
You can't have Josh Allen in a place where he's chasing the chains and coming from behind and trying to throw them to a win.
You can't do that. You gotta be 3rd and 2 all day long.
And if Karlaftis is going to have 86 sacks in this game like he did against the Texans.
Lonnie, the over-under was 3 and the guy had 10. What do you want me to do?
Hey, D'Amico, you might want to block Karlaftis. But I think he just sacked. Never mind.
3 minutes.
Thank you. I think didn't Karlaftis just get another sack during the show?
Stay hard.
You might want to block that guy. I think that's the problem with the Chiefs. They have a lot up front. Chris Jones looks healthy and happy. Karlaftis was amazing. If Josh Allen is having to throw them to a win, he is prone to make mistakes in big situations. Buffalo has to win the toss, in my opinion, and I think Buffalo has to play from ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong about this game. Something just tells me that Buffalo is going to get it done. That they're going to find a way. That Texans game for the Chiefs, that wasn't exactly some clean game in the first half. Like the Chiefs offense wasn't exactly clicking.
They sacked C.J. Stroud 8 times.
Yeah. Like, look at how many possessions the Chiefs got in that game. They're not getting that many possessions against the Bills.
And Mahomes only had 177 yards in that game.
So
I want to see everybody be healthy. I want to see the weather be good 90 seconds until the diamond turf, the fire red and metallical diamond turf releases on the Sneakers app. I am ready for it. I want to see healthiness. I want to see best players on the field with the game on the line and good weather so that we don't have excuses.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Patty necking with officials after the game. I don't want to see BS roughing the passer calls or unnecessary roughness calls. Jake showed me the video of the hot mics during that game. Not Mike, a guy that's an official that Patty finds hot, but a microphone on Patrick Mahomes where he said good hit when those two guys hit him, and then they still threw the unnecessary roughness flag. It is absolutely ridiculous. 31 seconds.
Dude, is the blood flowing, dude?
Okay, let's get upset.
Yeah.
Let's get upset.
Erection?
Is the blood flowing? Yes,
the
it
Sneakers
is.
app, the Diamond Turf on the Sneakers app is about to go down. This is one of the shoes I have been waiting for. I love this shoe. It is one of the shoes in my childhood, and I'm about to lose it right in front of you.
Now I'm trying to get it for you.
Tears of pain are about to happen because guys like me don't win sneakers auctions. And it says 8 o'clock. And what are we doing? There it is. Okay, let's go. Let's go. There it is. Come on, baby. Come on, muffo. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay, over here, double tap. Come on. Are we in? We are in. We are in the auction. We are removing bots. We are, it is, bro. We are in. And I really hope Mrs. Monty is in. Mrs. Monty, there's 3 of us trying to win this goddamn shoe right now. There are 3 of us trying to win this shoe. And if we lose this shoe, I am going to be devastated because Chaboy wants this shoe. I will cry like Patrick Mahomes on the shoulder of an official if we do not win this, if we do not win the Diamond Turf. We will cry. I am going to forego the Book 1 Cortez as we wait for the Diamond Turf. Do you think you're having to update your payment method?
Dude, I haven't used the sneakers app in years, bro.
Do you guys see what I have to deal with here?
Come on, guys.
Do you see what I have to deal with here? It is okay. It's fine. It's okay. Any chance that one of the 3 of us wins this shoe? What would you say are the chances?
It's good.
Oh, you think we're going to win it?
Yeah, I think we'll win it.
Okay. Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Let's see. I will keep you up to date. We are sitting here. We are waiting. I am in pending status.
In line.
So I will keep you up to date.
I am in line.
As a sneakerhead. Big Papa War Machine. What shoe we talking? The Diamond Turf.
Put a picture up of it. Get a picture of it.
It is. I love this shoe. It is, in my mind, it is one of the goated Nike shoes ever. It is, in my mind.
Bro, you're in on the wrong shoe.
No, I got him too. I got the Book 1 Cortez. I got the Book 1 Cortez. So we're good there. I was going to forego it and change my mind. Here's the Diamond Turf. Let me get this one. All I care about is this shoe right here. God dog it. First day on the equipment.
Yeah,
guys.
First day on the controls here, didn't get it.
Didn't get it. I didn't get it either. Oh.
Sold out in your size.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no.
That sucks, dude. Sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh no. I didn't get it.
Tough, bro.
I did not get it. Oh no, bro.
Yeah, that sucks. Did you put it on the screen?
Didn't. Oh, she didn't get it. Oh man.
Yeah, that's
God
tough, man.
Damn it.
That's tough, man. That's
Wow.
brutal. Absolutely brutal. Okay, you should take that off the screen now.
You try as one will try. And so let me get this right. I'm not going to Tokyo to see the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Did not get selected for that. Did not win the Diamond Turf.
Mm-hmm.
What good is life at this point?
It's painful, dude.
If you can't wear Diamond Turfs on your feet, what good is it? Sold out. Yeah. So can't even resubmit. Can't even resubmit. It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, dude. People wanted that shoe. Ain't no doubt about it.
Sold out. Absolutely sold out. They look I'm poverty guy, so I got a closet of ones. For those of you who don't know, I collect Jordans and shoes in general. I have hundreds. Keep telling myself not to buy any Airs. Well, can't pull them off. I'm telling you, this shoe is.
You'll be able to get it on GOAT if you really want it that bad.
I'm not paying over market for it. Text hug Monty. Thank you. Monty's on a cold streak. Seriously.
Dude.
Seriously. Man, that sucks. That is painful.
Brutal.
That is absolutely painful. I shouldn't be surprised.
No.
I shouldn't be surprised. It is
super coveted shoe.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. And
But you got the book one Cortez, so that's cool.
who cares? Who cares? It is so disappointing not to get the diamond turf. That is. The book one is a nice shoe, but wow, is that disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sold out everywhere. Okay. Lamont, I didn't get it either. You have any Reebok pumps? No, but I would love a pair. I think a Chiefs ref won the auction. I think they did too.
Sorry if you're offended by
Damn
that.
it. I really wanted that shoe.
Yeah, we tried, bro. We really did.
Anita, Dick, and me.
Yeah.
I really wanted that shoe.
Yeah, you got piped. No
Old
doubt.
Tatanka, karma for always picking on James. Yeah, probably.
Macaque.
Damn. That's why it sucks with having a huge foot. You just never, you can get 10s, 12s, 13s.
6s.
You want a 15? Yeah, no. You're SOL. That's the life I live. How privileged am I right now?
Yeah, extremely. Extremely.
Oh, I'm almost sold out of spring training tickets, by the way, for the Cubs. We
Okay.
talked about this because as a season ticket holder of the Cubs, spring training and regular season,
Right.
almost sold out. You know, did Monty just flip us off? No, that was more at Nike and Deion. Kale, I'm genuinely bummed for you, Monty. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a super coveted shoe. I was always going to be
You're
hard to
not,
get.
Kale, you're not bummed for me. It is. And I think this is where I have to say, hey, you know what? I play a ton of golf. I X, I Y. Like, I live this great life. I live a fantastic life. Being deboned over a pair of shoes is probably stupid.
Deboned.
It's probably stupid. But, you know,
All right.
that's just really disappointing. That maybe, what about Chic? Do you think Chic has it? You know,
I mean, we could look on the computer real quick. I mean, I know that's, you know.
this product is sold out. I'm going to say that's a nah, bruh. I'm going to say they don't have it. It's exclusively on I have to get a Chic app. Nah, bro. I'm fine. If it comes back around, it comes back around.
Yeah.
I'm just incredibly disappointed that I didn't get that diamond turf. All right. Real quick. That shoe is expensive on resale. Yeah, never doing it. It's $150. I'm never going to pay over price for it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to pay over. All right.
Stay hard.
Did you guys see this story? We talk about 21 times a month. They say that a man needs to empty the chamber 21 times a month for optimum health and to
F
avoid
around and find out.
bad things in the prostate, right?
Yeah.
21 times a month. Can't love yourself. Who can you love? Well, apparently, diamond turfs are cheap compared to the $1,000 fine you could get for emptying the chamber. It's called murder now.
It's like an act of Congress.
Bro.
This is one of the stupidest things that I have ever seen. I mean, legitimately, my wife just texted me, sorry.
And I'm a vampire feeding off mass disappointment.
I am. Mississippi state lawmaker introduces contraception begins at erection.
Stay hard.
Wow.
Act with fines for pleasuring oneself. The bill dubbed the Contraception Begins at
Stay hard.
Act was introduced by State Senator Bradford Blackman on Monday.
Nice name, dude.
For those convicted of violating the self-love law, financial penalties will be imposed, which will gradually increase. The first penalty would be $1,000 if you're caught loving yourself. The second would be $5,000, and the third $10,000.
Damn.
That could be an expensive
10
day.
bands to go to the spank bank?
Blackman, a first-term legislator, included two exceptions. First being for sperm donations, and the other one using contraception that would prevent fertilization.
Oh.
But you waste some of your own product, that's $1,000.
That's a G right there, bro.
You do it 3 times in a day, that's 16 grand.
Dude.
Better send those refunds.
Damn.
Bradford said the bill highlights the fact that and brings to light the man's role into the conversation. People can get up in arms and call it absurd, but I can't say that bothers me. He's upset because the vast majority of bills relating to contraception and abortion focus on the women's role when a man is 50% of the equation.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Bro, if I want to empty the chamber, as you will, I'm not paying $1,000 for it. And if I got to do it 21 times a month,
and it sucks,
I'm not paying 16 Gsels a day. I'm not doing it. This is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of.
Who writes bills like this? Who does this?
Tom Dean, wouldn't a vasectomy make a guy a mass murderer? It would.
Yeah.
Fat Jesus, guilty as charged, Your Honor. The eye patch, religious conservatives are troubled morons. Separation, never mind. Next loony reproductive law, contraception begins at the Big Bang Theory. So
well,
when you say Big Bang, can you?
Well, these two rocks kind of banged together, and it was symbolism and stuff, and now all of a sudden humans are here.
Yeah, Fat Jesus says, "What if I do it in church? Can ask for forgiveness." Look, you religious zealot. What? Look at you, religious guy. What happened to love the sinner, hate the sin?
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Mr. Preston, $1,000 to drain the pool. Damn.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like what?
Roche, freedom? What is freedom? Freedom. What? The most I ever paid for it was half a honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich from Whataburger. I cannot tell you how many people commented about bad fast food yesterday.
Dude.
So much for small government. You stay out of my bedroom. No one should even live in Mississippi. Hey, the SIP is good, dude.
Yeah, lane train and stuff.
It's just, this is why I'm saying, like, stay out of my bedroom.
Yeah, why do we need bills about stuff like this, dude? Like, seriously.
Stay out of my bedroom.
And with all due respect.
Right? In all seriousness, stay out of my bedroom.
All due respect.
I want nothing to do with these dudes, man.
Yeah.
I don't want you in my bedroom.
Nah.
Hell no. I want nothing to do with this.
Hell no. No.
The Diamond Turf is one of the smallest releases Nike has done in the last calendar year.
Yeah.
Why did you not have volume on that shoe? I think this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. It's ridiculous. Did Mahomes murder some little refs? Apparently. That's not very nice. That's not. What if I have someone else drain it for me? You better be wearing contraception. So wait, let me get this right. Because it says one of the things is if you are wearing a Jimmy to prevent contraception. So if I wear protection during self-love, does that mean that it's because I don't want the carpet to get pregnant? So this is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. I'm shooting blanks, so am I still being charged? You murderer.
Yeah.
Barry and nah, but you all in favor of mandating the jab. Who said that?
Yeah, who said that?
Who said that? I guarantee this lawmaker is far exceeding 21 times a month.
What?
I have to agree with that.
With all due respect.
Mayor Bolton, I'm confused. Me too. Not the Me Too movement. Because no, we don't do that here. Apparently any major corporation in this country. Okay. I'm not funding the jorking police. Yeah, who's paying for that enforcement?
Yeah.
Hey, Stan, you didn't meet your quota on traffic tickets. We're going to need you. I got a new badge for you. You're the captain of the self-love enforcement team.
Facial recognition.
Please don't go in there with guns blazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And when he says he's emptying the chamber, that's not what he means.
Right.
Just so you know.
Right.
James better not post this personal part of his life on
Dude, I
social
swear
media.
to God, James. Dude.
Oh.
Well, Monty, I tweeted the number at you. It's right there on Twitter, man. Come on.
Anime, the LOL, LMAO, that's diabolical. The lawmaker dude needs to be locked up for writing this up. How do you put this forward in front of your constituents?
The ink isn't dry yet.
I don't need mouth breather Carl arriving to my house to enforce this. Don't. What do you do? Hey, let's go. You've been in that bathroom for 5 minutes.
Pack this thing up. We're out of here.
Shake it more than twice. That's $1,000, sir.
And we were saying that.
Gail, Oak State James, please post cock stats.
Stay home.
No, please don't. The Spank police wear veiny pink helmets.
Stop, bro. Stop.
Macaque.
Stop.
Tom Dean, can the police use asset seizure for this? I'm going to need you to forfeit some assets there, Steve. Oh my God. This is where we are. This is where we are in this world. And I know, as a guy, I know that you're a self-love king, right? As a virgin, this has got to be really troubling for you.
Yeah, it's really,
Jake is saving himself for the officials.
Yeah,
So,
Right, yeah.
You're a homer is the first part.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Had a breakthrough on the driver last night.
On the actual driver or different driver?
Yeah, this isn't $1,000 fine for pleasuring myself.
Oh, okay.
Even
All
though
right. I just
hitting,
wanted to make sure.
even though improving my golf driver swing is a thing. My message before I leave is get yourself some perspective this weekend. So I have been struggling with my driver. I went to the range last night, did a TrackMan sesh. And it turns out for amateur golfers, just go ahead.
I don't know what an amateur is.
What an amateur golfer. It turns out for amateur golfers that, I'm in the top 1% swinging the driver last night. So I have struggled with the driver for how long? Since before the Christmas trip. Have not been able to hit it consistently. Really worked on it. Last night, I was averaging 304 for total distance. I was in the 280s for carry, about 304 for rollout in total. I had one drive that was 322, was my best drive last night on TrackMan. So when the session ends, you look at the numbers, top 1% of all amateurs. I work on my golf game way too much. I would like people to know that. But you know what I was standing there thinking? Why am I feel like I'm wasting my life at the driving range. Do I spend too much time on golf?
No, I don't think you spend too much time on it. I think you spend too much time being mad when it's not going the way you want it to. That's the problem. Like when you're like, if you're out at a nice course and it's just, you're not playing well, like you have to be able to just enjoy the fact that you're able to be out at a nice course.
I was really pissed off at Torrey Pines. And then watching the Farmers Open this week, they're all struggling the same way that I struggled. Because the fairways are 15, 20 yards wide at Torrey Pines right now. And the rough has got to be
4 or 5 inches.
4 or 5 inches at least.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Hideki Matsuyama took 15 minutes to try and find his golf ball in the rough. And the best part was it was about 3 feet off the fairway.
And you can't see it.
And you can't find it.
Yeah.
And they finally found it. We experienced that at Torrey Pines. Yeah. I have zero perspective.
Yeah, and I think that it's just so maddening to you that like you can't take it from the range onto the course some days. And I think that the thing with golf is like it's extremely rare to have all 3 phases going, right? Your tee shot, your second shot, and then like the putter. Like usually it's like, hey, the driver's crushing, my irons are great, but I can't putt today to save my life. Or the opposite, right? Putter's amazing, but I'm getting on the green in 4 shots, so I'm still putting for bogey. Like it's almost impossible. And that's why I always say like it's more just about like, for me, like I don't yet know how to hit a driver straight consistently. That's not part of my game yet. But I know that, hey, like even if I don't hit the driver well, I can still hit my irons really well. And usually my short game's really good. So like it's just about trying to have fun with it because you're not on the tour. You're not competing for anything. Like you're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other thing I always say too is like, you know, when you're out there playing, like it's just about like just enjoying the moment, you know, like that's all it is.
And I've gotten better at that. I just am, you know, I take golf very seriously. My irons are great. I've had a run here of 2 months of just really good iron play. And I just I haven't been able to hit a driver. But anyway, I just think we all need a little bit of perspective. I live a very privileged life. As the shoe conversation, you know, questions like, would Jakey 5 to 6 get fined less than Monty?
Probably.
I would. I don't have that problem. You know, you guys love this conversation. The Hawaiian golfer Jake is waiting for the three-peat before the KC girlfriend lets him have it.
I guess.
Lets him have it. Tom Dean, don't get mad about golf. It ain't for money. It ain't for fun. What's it for?
That's my point.
Well, but it's easy to say don't get mad about golf. You get mad about golf. We all get frustrated.
Yeah, but I think that
my expectations have now changed very much. I feel like my expectations are I am irrational. I'm a madman. And it's something I have to work on. I mean, I'm so ultra competitive that I can't even fathom it. So, but hey, I've improved.
You have improved, yes. But I think when you talk about like you're trying to have a conversation about perspective, like
wow, Pete Carroll's going to be the new head coach of the Raiders.
There you go.
No deal is done yet, but it looks like this agreement will come together by the end of the day. That's a very Tom Brady hire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you do there. That's going to
we'll see.
Does Pete Carroll instill confidence in winning?
I mean, he was very consistent in Seattle.
He'll put a system in place.
Yeah. He was very consistent.
LOL, wait, Pete Carroll? Yeah, the Pete Carroll. Bay Area, how come you guys never criticize LeBron for crying and getting ref calls? Everybody in the NBA does that. Everybody does that. Pistol Pete was old at SC. Yeah, he's older now. So we'll see. All right. There you have it. The Monty Show is always presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Chat with an injury attorney live online for free. Won't cost you a dime. You never pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. Be safe out there this weekend. Enjoy the football games. I've got the Chiefs and the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. Who you got?
I've got the Bills and the Eagles.
Okay. We'll find out on Monday. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.